But I mean, I can see why people don't want to live in places like this because they're crazy. And people run for their lives out of cities like that if they can't leave.
Democrat, and the same thing keeps happening, and there's no real advancement. And you may say, okay, well, what about DEI? DEI is not advancement. DEI is a payoff. DEI is a payoff. It's a bribe, because instead of fixing the black schools and elevating all black people to a level where they can be competitive with other races, they give a couple 100,000 black women jobs and say, okay, here, the race is advancing, and hoping that you ignore the real problems in the black community over here.
That's so
instead of speaking out against baby mama culture and thug culture, they let a couple black kids into this school, right? Or they give a couple black business owners grants to start this business, and we're advancing and hoping that you ignore the real problems that's causing the stuff that's causing the real problems in the black community. It's so fake, and again, it's oppression, and the whole thing is a payoff. But this is what they sell to the black community and say that, hey, we're advancing. Anyway, let's keep going.
Johnson went on to say that jails, incarceration, and law enforcement should not be considered some kind of salvation for the black and brown communities of Chicago. We did reach out to the Chicago Police Department for comment, but so far, Erica, we have not received a response.
All right. Megan, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So despite what
Jean says the Dems proved the money was there for reparations. I believe that's what you're saying, but rather give it away to bill illegals. But when sisters apply for assistance, the man couldn't be there, but the illegals' fathers can be there. How about that? How about that? But I feel like they know that they were hemorrhaging the black vote so much that they knew that they had to get a new voting bloc. So that's why they schmooze them. They give them all of this and that, and they'll vote for them forever, just like they did it for us back in the day when they gave everybody, free housing, and, you couldn't have your husband there and all that stuff. But it is true what you're saying, that the fathers, they were everybody, the families were allowed to be kept together for the illegals. So that's very interesting. And I didn't even really, make that correlation, but it is true. And I feel like black people should be more mad than anybody at Democrats because, for choosing illegals over them when you have been the blind faith voters for decades.